I do think there has to be scrutiny, and I'm going to get into that in a moment. But this bombastic way in which we go about it, Mr. Chair, I think most Canadians watching should be a little bit disappointed about how we go about that. Because
spend how much on a barn? Yeah, that's an $8 million barn. Now, unless this is like a escape hatch, which this would be a major breach in OPSEC security, just threw the pooch on that one. This is a crazy amount of cost, but you can see, look at this. This is nice. Look at all that concrete in the front. That's heavy duty construction. It's well done too. The concrete guys, they're high professionals. They do this a lot. They're not. This isn't a side gig. And then you see all the solar panels on the top. This is it. So this is these 4 bays, $8 million. 37% of the power is at least powered by solar. Okay, so it's the first zero carbon building in the National Capital Region. So that's part of the reason why the $8 million, but luckily we're not homeless. It's the first certified zero carbon building. It's a barn, but it's vehicle storage, washing bay, repair garage, tool equipment storage, and storage space. And so this is what this building is. This is $8 million kerfluffle. What do you think? Leave your comments.
To response as well. Mr. Stewart, I did stop the clock. You've got 3 minutes left. Over to you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Has anyone, through the chair to the NCC CEO, has anyone been held accountable for this outrageous spending? Has anyone been fired? And will any managers or executives at the NCC, including but not limited to yourself, lose a bonus or pay raise over this scandal?
So, Mr. Chair, what's important to note, I think, in terms of understanding the context of checks and balances on spending conducted by the NCC are 3 important salient points. One of them is we are subject to an annual audit by the Office of the Auditor General. The Office of the Auditor General has every opportunity to do an examination of the NCC spending and provide any recommendations or advice.
I'd like to get a yes or no on these answers. So, number 1, has anyone been held accountable? That's a yes or no. Has anyone been fired? That's a yes or no. And has any manager or executive lost a bonus over this? Those are 3 questions. I'd like yes and no's, yes or no's for all 3 of them. Thank you.
So, Mr. Chair, I do think it's important in answering this question to provide a sense of what the financial oversight is.
Question, though.
No,
hold on. I have the floor. The beauty of committee is that I get to ask the questions on behalf of the taxpayers, and all I'm seeking are yeses or nos. They're very simple answers. Everybody can understand what they mean. That's all I'm looking for. Thank you.
So on terms of accountability, which is what I was getting at, ultimately the board of the NCC is accountable for these projects. I, as the chief executive officer, am obviously the senior manager. And so the accountability lies both with the board and with me as the chief executive officer. So I hope I've answered the question. In terms of employment, no, there have been no employees who have lost their employment at the NCC for reasons that I've explained at the outset in terms of the fact that we take the stewardship of public funds very,
Thank you for
seriously.
that. Third question was, has any manager or executive, not limited to yourself, lost a bonus or pay raise over the $8 million expenditure for a barn?
No.
Thank you for that. All right. How can spending $8 million on a barn that houses 0 people and provides no economic benefit be a good use of taxpayers' money?
So, Mr. Chair, I think there are 2 important things to note in terms of the function of the actual building. One of them, it is the building that houses between 20 and 40 full-time and part-time staff. So think of groundskeepers.
Excuse me, the barn employs 20 full-time staff?
It's the touchdown workstation.
But I didn't ask you that, though. I'm asking you about the barn.
Mr. Stewart, I'm afraid that is your time. I know we'll be coming back to you. I appreciate that.